dates to 1910, and Kentucky has lost more games against Tennessee than anyone else in the SEC. So, Sean, how do they avoid their third straight loss to the Vols tonight?
Well, you know, I was here for both those two games, and both those broadcast partners, they were great to work with, had great calls. Tom, good luck, because if you're calling this one, you might be gone soon. But when you look at what you've got in this game, you've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's been the key cog, I think, offensively. He's emerged as the best player on the Kentucky Wildcats roster in the last 3 games. It's not just because of the scoring. Defensively, he's been very aggressive, playing the passing lane, utilizing his steals. But more importantly, when I spoke with him after shoot-around today, he said, look, I went back and watched some film. I figured out there was a lot of areas where I wasn't being aggressive enough in finding my shot, and sometimes I was being too aggressive and taking shots that weren't high percentage looks. Coming off the bench, he's provided that spark.
Well, Tennessee has done everything possible to fill the arena tonight, including opening up some dorms early. For more on that, we go courtside as we welcome in Chris Budden.
Yeah, well, Tom, Tennessee knew they were going to need the fans here, even though classes don't even start till Wednesday. So when they saw the schedule, they decided 3 o'clock today they would open up the dorms so the students could come to the game and then go sleep in their own beds. But in true John Calipari fashion, he used that as motivation for his team during shoot-around today, telling them several times, they're going to have a packed house. They think they have the energy. They think they can rattle us. But what they don't realize is that we came here for a fight.
And he has them motivated. John Calipari, when telling that story to his team, says they opened the dorms early. Who does that? Who does it? 9th season as Kentucky's head coach, 3-4 here. The 4 losses, they didn't make it to the Final Four. The 3 wins, they did. Maybe that's a barometer for this Kentucky program, which will be starting 5 freshmen once again tonight. On the other side is Rick Barnes. These two are very good friends. They met back in the late 70s at a Pitt basketball camp. Barnes is in 3rd season here on Rocky Top, a game above 500. This Tennessee team coming off of a home loss to Auburn by 10, in a game they led by 14. Barnes looking for more effort from his guys tonight. Tip control by Tennessee. Jordan Bone, the sophomore point guard, runs the show.
Well, both teams right now want to see a certain level of aggressiveness. For Kentucky, they felt like the last 2 years they weren't aggressive enough to win these games. A little luck on that one as that one goes off of Nick Richards' hands through the hoop. But they've got to bring up a level of intensity and meet the physical nature that you anticipate the Vols are going to bring. For Tennessee, it's getting back to who they were in November. And that means they secure their defensive glass. They give up 22 offensive rebounds to Auburn in the home loss.
Grant Williams trying to step through. Tennessee's first 2 possessions are empty, but that's going to stay with the Vols this way. Williams, their leading scorer and rebounder, coming off of a 22-point performance in that loss to Auburn. Tennessee is led by at least 9 points in all 4 of their losses this season. Here's Admiral Schofield.
You're playing with your back against the walls, too. You anticipate a much more physical and aggressive team from Tennessee, starting off conference play 0-2.
On the curl, a foul will put Jordan Bowden at the free throw line.
And that's what Tennessee really wants to do. They want to come off the weak side screens, balls up top. They want to get to that logo. And over the last 2 times when they've won inside this building, they've been able to score inside the paint.
Bowden, the sophomore from right here in Knoxville, hits the first of 2. I think Rick Barnes will have an idea about his team's effort and energy level in the first 3-4 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got to you pass the winter break. The students are back. All winter break long, what you hear is that, you know, the environments are a little bit sterile. They're not great. This is going to be a great environment tonight. This is a rivalry game for Tennessee. This game matters.
Rick Barnes would tell you that all the games matter, especially when you start winless in conference play. Richards looking inside. Nothing doing. Great interior defense by Schofield on Knox. Shot clock single digits. Quade Green for 3. And it's ripped down by Admiral Schofield. Here's Schofield.
I didn't like that shot. And that's a 3-point look that you can get at any point in any possession. I think you've got to force Kentucky to have to defend multiple sides of the floor. What I mean by that, Tom, is you've got to reverse the ball at least twice.
Amadou Diallo goes baseline. Off the side of the backboard. Kyle Alexander fights for it. And Diallo quickly picks up his second personal foul. John Calipari will sit you if you pick up 2 in the first half. And so Diallo will be on the bench for a while now.
And this is actually a lineup that I prefer. And that's nothing against Hamidou Diallo, who's outstanding in his own right. But when they put Quade Green and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out on the floor together, you start to notice that things move a little bit quicker and have a little bit better fluidity at the offensive end.
Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the best bench players in the SEC. He had back-to-back 20-point games going into the LSU contest this week. And a foul inside, another whistle against Kentucky, and P.J. Washington picks up his first.
That's the first time, by the way, a Kentucky bench player has scored over 20 points since 1992.
Yeah, Darren Feldhouse was the last to do it. Third whistle against Kentucky here tonight in the first 2 minutes. Bowden off the inbounds, corner shot. Kentucky is great running off of missed corner threes, 1.7 points per possession, but Knox will pull it out. The 6'6" Gilgeous-Alexander tries to step through the trap. Washington on a baseline move gets fouled by Grant Williams. Sean, this is the first time Kentucky has played in an environment like this. The LSU game earlier this week was their first true road game of the season. I thought the crowd the other night was a little bit reserved, especially for a big one. This crowd is huge, and they're going to get loud soon.
But let's be honest, a lot of these guys that are wearing blue, they've been in big arenas before, state championship games, McDonald's All-American contest. Now, maybe not as hostile as this environment, but the bright lights isn't going to confuse them at all. And go back to the Champions Classic, another opportunity to play in a big arena that has a big crowd that's going to make a lot of noise.
John Fulkerson entered the game for Tennessee. Rick Barnes going to his bench early. Gilgeous-Alexander with a baseline move. That one was altered by Schofield, or at least threatened. Kentucky 1 for 4 to start this game. Schofield, that one goes.
That was a nice 1-2 step-in three. The one he had earlier when he came to the top of the key wasn't the same kind of step-in. His footwork wasn't as sharp.
Knox off the mark. Nearly a walk from Alexander. Bowden in the paint. You mentioned the logo being a key, or you will at least, and that time Tennessee able to get it in there. P.J. Washington, and one. Tennessee with an early lead. More whistles and field goals in the first 4 minutes of this one. Back to Knoxville in a moment.
In this room, there are 300 years of experience across 18 specialties. They've seen over 72,000 patients, conducted decades of clinical trials, analyzed hundreds of unique genetic characteristics, all for a single patient. The right treatment at the right time, because the future of cancer treatment is being fought at the individual molecular level, right here at UK Healthcare's Markey Cancer Center, the power of advanced medicine.
Today, what are you going to give? Give 30 more seconds on your Peloton. Give it from right here in your living room. Give it your best morning, noon, or night. Give it up for New York's best instructors live. Give them something to see. Give yourself 1,000 other riders to push you to the top. Give it up for this song. Give more than you ever thought you could. Give your home the one thing that will make you give it all. Peloton.
It's a top 25 matchup inside sold-out Thompson Bowling Arena. And for more on the key to this game for the Volunteers, let's go courtside. Sean Farnham's posting up.
All right, you look at the painted area out here on the floor. This is the area where the Kentucky Wildcats, their biggest concern is tonight. At the logo, already we've seen it a couple of times. Tennessee's going to set a staggered screen out here, and they're going to look to get right here and find an open look and get this shot. Once they get that, they start elevating up, setting back screens, and finding cleaner looks underneath. Let's show you a couple of examples from the games last year where this happened. This first one, you're going to see the screen come up top. Admiral Schofield is going to receive the screen and immediately look to cut to the basket. Notice how the defense is moving. Everybody else is active. What that does, Tom, is it makes sure that they have to guard. Out of bounds underneath. Another area of concern for John Calipari. His team was face guarding last year. Throw it over the top, get it to the logo. That was Robert Hubbs. Then this one, old school, back to the basket, occupy the defense. The other four players in blue, they are so aware of the movement without the ball for the Tennessee Volunteers that they hug them. That creates the space to isolate Mr. Williams underneath.
Well, so far, Tennessee has gotten some looks on those curls and gotten it to the logo, but 0 points in the paint thus far for the Vols. All 4 of Kentucky's points have come in the painted area. And coming out of the timeout, a chance for a 3-point play for P.J. Washington. McDonald's All-America, freshman out of Dallas. Played his high school ball at Findlay Prep. He played for his dad, Paul, in his final season. Just 61% from the line. And he makes it a 3-point play, and we're locked at 5 here early. Two schools separated by 177 miles in a series that dates to 1910. And the Vols have only won 3 in a row at home against Kentucky one other time. They'd match that with a victory tonight. Cats takeaway, Gilgeous-Alexander.
I like the patience and the poise that you're seeing out of Kentucky. They look to run when they have it. If not, they're going to grind it out. And John Calipari talked to his team about it as well, slowing down the pace of this game in the half court, trying to find the guy you want to score. And right now, there's nobody else than number 25. You got to get P.J. Washington the ball. Last 2 possessions, one they get him on the block. The next one, they isolate him at the free throw line. And that's a mismatch, as it often is.
He took over in the paint in the second half against LSU, finished with 18. This is a Kentucky team that is based on getting the ball to the interior. They're a very good 3-point shooting team, but the volume of 3-point shots is as few as it's ever been under Calipari.
Well, and you mentioned P.J. Washington. In the locker room at the half of that LSU game, he was demanding them to get the ball to the rim, and he's the biggest part of that.
Nice look to the logo. Just says you diagrammed, and Kyle Alexander has his first bucket.
And his continued growth as a basketball player, more and more weight. Remember a couple of years ago in heavy windstorms, they have to use weighted pads to make sure he didn't blow away. That's how thin he was.
Nice. Takes it all the way in and draws the foul. This almost looked like a play that you diagrammed a moment ago.
Now, Tommy, it's not a secret. They get the ball on one side. You're making everybody active. You cut to the logo. You try to get there and elevate up before the defense can react.
Kevin Knox has a new role during practices this week for Kentucky. John Calipari has moved him from working with the guards to working with the post players, saying specifically, why don't you play like a forward who can shoot instead of playing like a guard who can bang? Knox coming off of a slump over 2 of the last 3 games, but played well against LSU. And Wenyen Gabriel, the only Kentucky player to see action in this building, enters for the first time for the Cats. James Daniel, the transfer from Howard, now running the point for Tennessee. Try to go to that curl again.
A little sloppy right now in the passes for Tennessee, and that's good activity. The length of Kentucky is hard to replicate in practice. Not many teams have the wingspan that they do.
Shot clock winding down. Schofield rattles one home. It's so hard to replicate that last week in LSU practice, they brought out extended pads and sticks to work against the posts. It worked for Dwop Weath. He had a career-high 24. But Kentucky came out on top. They wore him down late. Nice hesitation. And great recovery by James Daniel inside to deny. 4 seconds on the shot clock awaiting Kentucky on this baseline out of bounds play. Who do you go to?
I think you're going to look for Quade Green, or you're going to look to get something quickly to the basket. And P.J. Washington a little slow. Like, I didn't like that play at all. Where P.J. Washington caught that ball was not in a quick operational area. And what I mean by that, Tom, is he wasn't down low on the block. He was a good 6 or 7 feet back to the basket with somebody guarding him. So if you don't hand it off on the rub-in, then you're going one-on-one with under 3 seconds left to go on the shot clock. You're not going to have enough time.
Derek Walker Jr. enters for Tennessee. John Calipari a little frustrated early. He was fired up today at practice, wasn't he? Knowing that this was going to be a road test for his squad.
I haven't been to many practices where Coach Cal isn't a little fired up.
Fair. Freshman Walker, wide body setting screens.
You know, embrace has been the big word this year around this Kentucky program. Embrace the challenge, embrace the moment, all of those things. That's what life is on the road in conference play.
All about hugs. Wednesday at 7 Eastern. We'll take you to the O'Connell Center in Gainesville for Mississippi State taking on Florida. What a win for the Gators today at the last second. A Chris Chiozza steal, and they stole a win on the road at Mizzou. Right here on the SEC Network and streaming live, as always, on the ESPN app.
Mississippi State going to look to bounce back from their 64-58 loss to Ole Miss. Andy Kennedy, by the way, 100 SEC wins now.
Oh, how about that? Congrats, AK. Wildcats have made each of their last 2 field goals. That qualifies as a run in this defensive battle here early on. Washington with the reverse.
You know, I've seen Grant Williams play so many times where he has the advantage because of his quickness and his strength. He doesn't have that advantage against P.J. Washington.
Turned over. Gilgeous-Alexander all the way to the paint and walked with it.
Yeah, they've gone to this play a couple of times, and I don't understand why you don't keep going back to it. P.J. Washington, little rip through, doesn't step out of bounds that time, isn't late in the shot clock, and he's playing with a confidence and a swag right now that I really like.
Coming off of that 18-point performance against LSU. Tennessee has turned it over on each of its last 2 possessions.
A 2-3 zone shown by the Kentucky Wildcats.
Daniel penetrates. Schofield for 3. Knox challenged it just enough, and it was wide left. Gabriel will fire. An early 3 goes for Wenyen Gabriel.
Good down screen by Hamidou Diallo. We talk so much about his level of explosiveness. Often we don't talk about the little things that he could do out on the floor to help open up the game for his teammate.
Nice dump down. And a walk by Walker. Another Tennessee turnover. 4 straight now. Down by 5 in a danger zone for Rick Barnes' team as Jordan Bone returns, and the freshman Walker will take a seat. Bone will pick up 3/4 court.
You see the calmness when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has the ball in his hands. It's just the game kind of slows down, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Richards with the jump hook. Post players having their way thus far tonight for Kentucky. 10 of their 16 have come in the paint. It's a 7-0 Kentucky run. Alexander fouled. Tennessee finally completes a possession, but the Cats running early.
The Cats been able to get it down inside the paint. What that does, it collapses the defense. Everybody wants to come inside, and when they come inside, it opens up a perimeter 3. Somebody's better put a hand up. They're up by 5.
Mayhem, what are you doing up there?
No more mayhem. It's my New Year's resolution.
Then what are you now?
I'm a lightning rod waiting to protect your home from a lightning strike.
That's boring.
You know what? Tell me something I don't know.
I'm allergic to pet dander.
I was being sarcastic.
I thought you were being a lightning rod.
You're cute.
Whatever. Can you get my plane?
Yeah, I don't do planes. I just do lightning.
When you're in control of your finances, I just feel like you're in control of your future.
When we were getting ready to open the business, we shopped around a couple different banks. But when we went to Regions, they treated us the best.
Oh, yeah?
The customer service is, amazing.
Our Regions banker, Stacy, has great advice for the business and our personal finances.
You walk in, they treat you right. It makes you just want to keep going back. And we're ready to take our next step.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
An efficient Kentucky team has made 5 in a row from the floor, and the Cats with a 5-point lead over Tennessee. Yes, this is the youngest team in college basketball. I know Kentucky fans know that, but what's been impressive is how the young guys have stepped up. 5 different freshmen have led them in scoring in the last 5 games, including Gilgeous-Alexander off the bench in a blowout against Louisville.
Yep, and of course tonight it's been P.J. Washington. He has been the guy that's been the most efficient with the basketball in his hands. 3 for 3 from the field. 7 of his 16 points have come from him. He had the 1 turnover as he drove baseline and stepped out of bounds. He's also got 2 rebounds and 2 steals. What you love about what P.J. Washington is doing, he's starting to provide a little bit of that heart that you so desperately need in conference play. That motor, the key that starts the engine, and if you can get that from somebody that wants to control the interior, it's going to open up everything on the outside.
He was born in Louisville. He was a Kentucky fan. He was a huge fan of the John Wall team when he was in 4th grade. Remember the John Wall mixtape he had coming out of high school? All these guys watched it, were blown away by it. Here's Kyle Alexander, and he converts a 3-point play. There's 5 now for Tennessee's 5-man. It's a 4-point game. Knox, nope, and Schofield pulls down a physical rebound.
No offensive rebounds in the game so far for Kentucky.
Bone for 3.
And that's one of the areas that Coach Calipari told us Tennessee's a better 3-point shooting team than a lot of people want to give them credit for.
39% of the season, 4th best in the league, and a carrying call on Kentucky. We'll give it back to the Vols, who look to reclaim the lead. Richards takes a seat, and P.J. Washington back on the floor for Kentucky.
Coach Cal talking to Quade Green as that ball is getting inbound about needing to be there on the catch, needing to talk and needing to fight through screens. That's a poor pass by Grant Williams.
Knox for 3. Off the mark, and Williams has it. Tennessee looking to push. Grant Williams going to work. Has that one adjusted.
Great defense by P.J. Washington.
Gilgeous-Alexander off the window and in. Chris Budden was listening into that Tennessee huddle a moment ago. Chris, what'd you hear?
Well, Rick Barnes really frustrated, asking his guys, like, are you not paying attention? Everything they're doing was in the scouting report. We got to get some stops, and I need you guys to be honest with me. If you're tired, let me know so I can sub you out.
We'll see if they will speak up. Kentucky will run out. Knox lost control. No numbers for Tennessee. Schofield went into the Photogs.
Good job defensively at the time by Quade Green, fighting over the screen.
Shot clock at 2. Williams fading away, has it blocked. Washington got his hands on it. P.J. Washington playing great on both ends of the floor. He looks a little fired up tonight, huh?
He does, and Grant Williams looks a little winded and tired.
Gabriel for three, his second triple of the night. Kentucky's opened up a 6-point lead, and Rick Barnes uses a timeout to talk about it.
Well, we touched on P.J. Washington at the offensive end and how aggressive he's been underneath, but it's also been about his defense late in the shot clock. Look at the positioning, no foul, does an excellent job putting himself into position to make a play, forcing Grant Williams to settle late in the shot clock, and then Wenyen Gabriel second time from beyond the arc for number 32. I just love what I'm seeing right now from P.J. Washington. Here we are at the start of conference play, right, Tommy?
Yep.
You've got Kentucky undefeated right now at 2-0. The only team right now really undefeated talking about is Florida, right? You saw them the other night against Texas A&M. They hit a gazillion threes in the first half. Today, they struggled, but they got the steal late, and they got the game-winning basket from Chris Chiozza. Yes, it's the SEC. Yes, the league is deeper than it's been, and I think there's going to be losses to be had by everybody. But it still starts with Kentucky, and then it's Florida, and then the rest of the conference is trying to play its way through right now and find itself.
A lot of people expected Texas A&M to be there, but A&M lost again today. They're 0-3 in league play. They have been full strength only once this season. They get Hogue back today, but still missing two of their point guards. And meanwhile, Tennessee's missing some offense. Last field goal came at the 11-10 mark. Vols have missed each of their last three. Fading away, Fulkerson.
Well, Fulkerson should have gone straight up instead of fading away. Don't be afraid of the contact. Get fouled. Go to the free throw line. Can't play timid.
Gabriel's already hit 2 threes. Knox going to work. Bowden with the pump fake gets in, and Washington got two hands on that one. What a first half for P.J. Washington. The lead 6, and that one swatted to the front row. Great recovery by Kyle Alexander.
Good defense by the two bigs for either team. The Tennessee right now offensively, last couple of possessions, they're not taking quality shots. And that has everything to do with the defense that Kentucky's playing. The zone defense has made the Vols very passive and has taken their foot off the throttle offensively.
Washington gives it up. Gabriel for 3. His third. Wenyen Gabriel's got 9. It came off a feed from P.J. Washington, who's filling up the stat sheet tonight.
Well, an excellent job, too, because he's already scored a couple times with his back to the basket. He could have taken the shot there, but he made the unselfish play to help his teammate.
Tennessee trying to figure it out on offense and missed each of their last 5 field goal attempts. And Kentucky has built its largest lead of the night.
They ready today.
They're ready.
They ready today.
These fans always show up so lit.
They've got enough food for everybody before kickoff. No holds barred.
That tape was fire, baby.
Breaking clear by 30.
Get your knees up.
Holy smokes.
Holy smokes.
Shopping for your pets has never been easier. Introducing Chewy.com.
I'm a stay-at-home mom with 2 young boys, so I'm super busy with their schoolwork and sports. So shopping online at Chewy makes it easier. It's convenient and it's reliable.
We love the free shipping. Treats, toys, food, in 1 to 2 days are delivered right to our doorstep.
I recommended Chewy to my neighbors and my friends because the prices are great. And they love it.
Save 20% on your favorite brands and get fast, free shipping. Shop online at Chewy.com.
Great people set your company apart. HR's job is to help those great people do amazing things. which is why you need Namely, the HR platform employees love to use. Namely streamlines benefits, payroll, and time management across the entire company so you can focus on building a better workplace for everyone every day. Schedule a free demo today at namely.com. Namely, HR for humans.
Coming up next, Peter Burns and the SEC Now team will have a full recap of all the college hoop games and a look ahead to Monday's national championship and all SEC matchup. Meanwhile, emotions are high here tonight in Thompson Bowling Arena. In the last time out, Rick Barnes got all over a couple of his players. This was him talking with Grant Williams. It was after Williams got a shot blocked, but nobody from Tennessee went after the loose ball, and Kentucky was able to simply pick it up. So a fired up Rick Barnes trying to get his team motivated. For more, let's check in with Chris.
Yeah, Williams getting the wrath of Barnes' frustration, and it was about that passiveness that Sean was talking about. He looked at him, he said, why are you throwing passes that you can't make? And he stares him in the eye and says, you know what I think it is? I think you're scared. I think you're scared to go inside.
Wow. And Tennessee has gotten some looks inside, but every time it seems that there's a crack, Kentucky shuts the door on it.
But they've also been passive. They've been fading away. They've not been initiating contact. They've not been earning trips to the free throw line where they can. Instead, they're playing timid against the length of Kentucky, and that needs to stop. And by the way, 6 turnovers for Tennessee has led to 8 points. 0 points off of turnovers for Tennessee thus far.
One of the reasons Kentucky's points in the paint are so high here in this first half. Shot clock winding down again. Bowden's going to have to make something happen. He gives it up for a corner 3. And P.J. Washington fighting for it will force a jump ball and will stay with Tennessee.
You know what? There's been a lot of talk about leadership. And in particular, when you think about Kentucky, the talk about leadership, what I'm seeing out of P.J. Washington tonight would excite me. It would make me believe that he's wanting to take that role.
Bowden fouled on the long 2. It's the first on Kevin Knox. Sean, I think we saw that in the second half against LSU. This is a Kentucky team we know that has tons of talent. They ooze talent, but the question is, who do you go to who can take over a game? And it seems like it's going to be P.J. Washington, the guy who's willing to take over a game, because they all have the ability to, it seems.
Yeah, I can add it.
Well, Chris, I think, wants to add something in.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to PJ today about the difference of his leadership over the last 3 games, and he said that Coach Cal has really enforced that upon him. You know, he comes from a coach's dad, and I said, who's worse, Coach Calipari or your dad? He goes, well, I thought my dad was bad until I got here. And Coach Cal's way worse, but he's really had me step up my game in terms of my vocal leadership, which he's not necessarily comfortable with, but knows he needs it.
And that's all part of the growth process. You know, when you come to college, everything is different. You look at this is the big thing about Kentucky every year, and their fans know it. But when you bring in this many talented kids, every single one of these guys, they were the best in their state. They're the best in the region. They're the best in the nation. Now all of a sudden you come here and you're part of the wheel. So how do you start to separate? Well, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's been more relaxed. He's been more comfortable. He's had more fun. It's shown in his production. Now all of a sudden, P.J. Washington starting to get his aggressiveness up to a higher level, and his play's taking over.
Richards just beats the shot clock, and this officiating crew is going to double check. Tennessee's going to use a timeout. Is that what Brian Shea's saying?
No. They're gonna look at this on the monitor to make sure that it got off before the shot clock expired. But Tom, I mean, that's a big thing when you talk about major high-level Division I basketball. That's something that every team has to deal with, right? Every recruit you get is one of the best in its area, state, or region, or nation. Kentucky's entire roster is that. So what happens is you get this group together, and now you're trying to figure out how do you fit when you don't get the ball every single possession. Tough to see, by the way, from that angle whether or not the shot clock went off. But take Nick Richards, for example. Can you imagine playing against him in high school? How many kids are the size that could keep Nick Richards away from the basket where he can just catch the ball and dunk? Now, so you come to the college game, you're going against guys that are like-sized or have some strength to offer more resistance to you. So everything changes and evolves, and that's why this process for this Kentucky team continues to move on game by game. And while they did not look great against Georgia, they did not look great against LSU, they've won those contests. Tonight, they didn't fall behind so far. They've been able to get out and pretty much keep Tennessee at bay for a majority of this half.
Well, one of the issues here is we try to show you the replays that our looks don't have the shot clock in it. That's why we can't show you the look we want to, but the officials are looking at a monitor that has a DVR in it. So they can rewind our game action, which has the shot clock in it, and then try to determine whether or not Richards beat the shot clock. So we apologize. We can't technically show it to you, but they can get a clean look. And they're going to wave it off. So no bucket for Richards.
And again, remember the replay system this year going back to the home offices of the SEC. Terry Moore, longtime official, helping out the in-game officials with the replay process to try to expedite and speed up the process.
Brian Shea saying it was still in his hand, trying to explain that to Cal when the shot clock expired. Tennessee down 7. The Vols have missed each of their last 6 field goal attempts. They do have 2 points from the line. Williams gives it up. Bowden turns it over again.
Jumping to the ball. That's what Kentucky's doing a really nice job of, and they're loading up on the ball side. And what that means is getting to the middle of the paint and taking away the opportunities for those windows to find looks.
Quade Green. Tennessee's 7 turnovers, 5 made field goals. Trying to change it with a 3. And a foul on the floor on Richards.
I think they're going to get P.J. Washington away from the ball on the offensive, trying to box out on the defensive glass. He sent Schofield flying. The action away from the ball as the shot goes up. And I'll be very honest, I think he just tripped. I don't think P.J. Washington really did anything more than stand there.
Schofield got free.
How does that happen? You know how it happens? Poor communication. Schofield just ran from the wing straight to the block, and there was no talking or pushing through the zone defense that time.
Washington's been the go-to man. And why not? A chance for a 3-point play as he draws a foul on Schofield.
P.J. Washington is separating himself right now here in the first half. I mean, you're going against Admiral Schofield, one of the biggest and strongest dudes that you can face on the block. And P.J. Washington is making him look slow of foot and beating him to his spot every single time. And part of it is poise and patience on the catch, setting him up to utilize the angle to be able to finish.
Lamonte Turner with the rebound. James Daniel can score. He's the active leading scorer in the country, but he's more of a facilitator on this team. Tennessee looking for scores, gets a triple from Bowden. It's a 4-point game. As bad as Tennessee's been offensively, Kentucky has been unable to pull away. Quade Green walked with it. Hamidou Diallo is going to return to the game here in the first half with 2 personal fouls with 4:48 to go. Reverse, left short. Tennessee hasn't made 3 field goals in a row tonight. Kentucky has, and that's Diallo inside for his first bucket.
But everybody's racing out. Nobody knew where Diallo was except for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Again, Tennessee wants to get the ball at that high post area and then play out of it if they can. There's nobody there right now.
Whoa! That's Schofield for his second triple. Loose ball. Kentucky's got it. And an offensive foul on Sasha Kalea-Jones. Tennessee's made it a 3-point game with 3:49 to go in the half. Inside a sold-out Thompson Bowling Arena. When we return, I'll tell you about another sold-out stadium. SEC is playing for a national championship on the gridiron. Sean Farnham will make his pick after this.
At Regions Bank, we're here to help you move your life forward. But managing money can be tough. That's why sometimes we bring in a little extra help.
It's only $1,500. I'll use it this time, I promise.
Sure.
$1,500 for a soon-to-be very expensive doorstop probably isn't the best investment.
Exactly.
Look, you don't need fancy equipment to get in shape. Check out my personal program at TebowFlex.com.
You should do whatever he's doing.
It's free. Check it out.
Regions, official bank of the SEC.
Yes, the Southeastern Conference has skylines and coastlines, but there's a smile you won't find on any map. We reach out far and wide. The spirit, you can't possibly confine it. And the pride, well, good luck trying to define it. The SEC is really a state of mind. Here, there are no boundaries. It's true. It just means more.
All right, coming up at half, we will talk a little basketball, but national championship game, SEC versus SEC. Tom, Sean, who you got?
Well, I don't need a football. PB, seriously? Hey, Sam, great catch, brother. Nice job. Okay, so, Sean Farnham, it's time to pick a winner. How are you going to do this? You can do it like signing day style?
We're going to pretend it's February because the early signing period's already over. And, you know, you look at Alabama and the prestige of Nick Saban, and no assistant coach has knocked off Saban. But the linebacking, no, I'm just going to go with Crimson Tide.
Cruel.
You put it on, okay, you enjoy itself. You have a little love for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and here's why you say roll Tide. Hurts only 1 interception all year long, and then you've got defense. You got playmakers all over the field. Like my man, Mr. Payne. Not only can he get the INT, but he also has the ability to get the touchdown. I love Damian Harris, their running back. I think Alabama's going to take it home.
All right, I think the key will be Jake Fromm trying to and able to hit some deep downfield passes against it. No, he's not going to be able to hit downfield passes against Alabama's defense. Jeremy Pruitt's a new head coach here. He'll be defensive coordinator for the final time for Alabama. You cannot run on Alabama's defense. Impenetrable. If they're left with 2nd and 8s, not going to work. No look, back to you, brother.
I got to be honest with you. Tom Hart could have caught that pass. He's just not an athlete. I mean, listen, that thing was right there. You got to go for it. Real quick, what are you seeing so far in this one?
Tennessee got to change the tempo faster.
Boy, that Kentucky length is slowing everybody down.
It's a problem.
Back to the game.
All right, thanks. Right here, this kind of started like a football game, didn't it? I mean, it was a little grinded out early on. Kentucky just won for their first 5. Then it went on a roll where they made 5 in a row. I don't know if we can say enough about P.J. Washington tonight.
No, you can't. He's filling it up in the stat line right now. 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, an assist, and 9 points. A perfect 4 for 4 from the field. If you're Kentucky and you're a guard, you want to get the ball into number 2-5's hands every single time down when he's on the block. You notice how Grant Williams didn't fade away on that one? That goes back to what Chris was talking about in that last time out. Turning, being aggressive, not fading away, not settling for poor shots. You mentioned Pruitt, though, who's going to be the new head coach. He's the DC right now at Alabama. What should Vols fans be most excited about? You cover the SEC in college football every Saturday night on the SEC network. You've been around it. What can he do to get this program back to where they want it to be?
Well, number one, he can recruit. And they're a little bit behind the 8 ball with the early signing period dead and gone after December 20th. But if he can do what Kirby Smart has done, another Saban lieutenant, he's going to do great work here on Rocky Top. Kirby Smart has simply instituted Saban's plan all the way down to the crowd noise they run and practice, which is the same soundtrack. Tennessee's closed this to within 1.
I think that's what's made you such a good broadcaster, Tom, is you use the same crowd noise at home when you practice calling games before you come.
Indeed. It's the loudest shower in the neighborhood. Schofield had position. It wasn't a great entry pass. Try it again, this time on the other side, and it's lost by Williams. Speaking of football, how about a national championship coach? Now the athletic director, Philip Fulmer, in the building tonight. Won it all in '98 with T. Martin as his quarterback a year after Peyton left.
A lot of talk about how that coaching search went. And obviously a lot of people were upset about it around here. They say, you know, you're going down the list on who you want. Well, they didn't go down the list because Phil Fulmer, he got the guy he wanted. And that's the coach.
It's never good when they paint the rock. Gabriel shares it. Quade Green for 3. Got it.
Good
Big
ball
time
movement.
triple for the freshman.
Yeah, but that's great ball movement by Kentucky. Last possession, Tennessee wanted to get the ball down low on the block, and neither big could hang on to it.
Williams gives it up. Tennessee gives it up again.
Yeah, good ball movement on that previous possession, though, for the Kentucky Wildcats. Watch the ball get swung. All 5 players are going to get their hands on it. And look at the defense. What are they doing, Tom? Are they right in front, ready to be there on the catch, or are they chasing the basketball? And when you can get a defense to start chasing, that's when you really start scoring. That's a foul.
It's a second on Schofield. Rob Lanier, Tennessee's assistant coach, had the scout on Kentucky today. They wanted to make an effort not to give up offensive rebounds. He said simply make them shoot over you. We want your man to shoot over the top of you. That's a scouting report drawn up by Coach Lanier. Unfortunately, for Tennessee's sake, as Kentucky's got too many looks inside and great penetration, like this from Quade Green.
Nice drive and finish. Absorbing some contact that time by Quade Green. Quade Green on the previous possession knocks down the 3 off a ball movement. That time, see the seam, the gap. Nobody got a body in front of him, forcing him to shoot over the top. Instead, they gave him an angle and allowed him to finish. You know, here's what I love about the SEC. This year, it's going to be wide open. And people go, well, what does that mean? Well, that means that the depth of this conference has improved so much. In fact, you know, Mark Fox, he just texted me and told me I picked the wrong hat. Notice that he texts me, he doesn't text Tom. You know, Tom says the same thing. He's the guy that covers football. I'm the basketball guy talking football. Hey, look, Coach Fox, I know you're watching. You should be smiling right now. Got a big win today against Alabama.
Lamonte Turner, 2 for 2 from the line. Tennessee perfect from the charity stripe. Deontay Mayton went off again.
26 and 11 for Mayton. How about this? They held Alabama to 17% shooting from beyond the arc and sub 30% from the field, plus 18 on the glass.
Well, the flu bug's going around the entire country, including this league. Dejon Ingram missed that game for Alabama. They were down to 1 score, and that was Sexton. There's Washington. He's into double figures.
Well, they had another one. His name was John Petty. He just went 1 of 8 from the field, though.
It's not going to work very often. Alabama also lost on the road last week to Vandy. Turner swatted by Richards.
And that's when Kentucky's at its best. You wall up initially. You don't go for the block. You have faith and you have trust that your rim protector is there.
By the way, how many threes did Deontay Mayton hit today? 4?
He has just improved year in and year out. People forget a 3-star recruit coming out of high school turned it into a 5-star on his career. Top 10 in points and rebounds on the career list for Georgia.
Richards.
He gets the block at one end, gets the putback at the other end. Good activity.
Sean, 22 of Kentucky's 37 points have come in the paint. Bowden. And Richards yanks it down.
Coach Calamile wants his team to take up the shot clock and slow down the pace of this game. Knows P.J. Washington didn't post on the strong side that time. He will on the second attempt.
On the handoff, shot clock at 5.
Too much standing around on that possession for Kentucky.
One shot for Tennessee. 10 seconds on the clock. Daniel kicks 5. Now 3. Bowden challenge 2. Richards has it. No heave, and at the half, Kentucky with a 37-29 lead. The Cats have shot 56% in the first half. They've hit half of their threes, and P.J. Washington has been a monster inside with 11 points. Kentucky's defense has held Tennessee to a season low in the first half, 29 points. John Calipari's got to be happy with the defense here tonight. And John Calipari is standing by with our Chris Budden.
Coach, you told us you wanted your guys to play with fight, play desperately. How have you seen that play out today?
No, we're fighting. We have a couple guys that aren't to the level of the group, and that's where we had some breakdowns. We had to go zone because of Hami. I'm trying to get him steal minutes. But, it was a good first half. Now we got 20 minutes of tough basketball.
What do you say to those guys that aren't stepping up at halftime?
There's a couple that aren't playing desperate. They're just playing. You can't. You walk. There was no reason. They threw it to you. You walked. Desperate, man. You're down. You're tough. You're playing with desperation. And PJ was unbelievable. Made it a tough, but Williams is tough for them. It's a hard matchup.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, we'll see if they can find that fire. It's worked in the first half. 37-29 our score. Let's get you to PB, Fish, and Pat. Time for the SEC Network halftime report.
All right, thank you, Tom. Listen to Coach Cal. You wouldn't think that those guys are up by 8. Big Blue Nation has to like it. Those in Knoxville probably on the other side of it. They want to see that fire and heart from Coach Barnes' squad. How can they change that? What is Coach Barnes saying in that locker room right here, right now?
Well, adjusting to that length is number one, but Fish has been preaching it this whole entire first half. Get that tempo going. When you see Kentucky in their length able to walk the ball up the floor, their big fellas catching in the block where they want it. Passes are easy, Fish. That never happens against a Tennessee team. They're always up in your face, chest to chest. If denying the ball, getting hands deflections, you don't see that in the first half.
It's unbelievable to me. Listen, I don't care who you are in the league. When I went to practice to watch Kentucky before the season started, that's what stood out to me, their length. I think their average wingspan is like 6'9" or 6'10" for their teams, from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to Amadou Diallo. They're all long. And so the only way to overcombat that is you have to get out before that length has a chance to set up. You can't go one-on-one against them in the half court. That's like trying to outbox or outfight Mike Tyson, like you're in the back just fighting man.
That goes unless Tennessee's off.
You got a box.
On the defensive end too. I mean, you can't just let Kentucky just stand there because they're going to pick you apart. They can see over you. They can get around you. You got to bring it.
And that's the difference right now. 22 of Kentucky's 37 points are in the paint. That's why you're going to get a high percentage, and the opposite hasn't been the case for Coach Barnes and the Vols. We'll see if they can back it up. It's been an unbelievable day of hoops in the conference. Let's go ahead and show you. May I interest you in a buzzer beater with Tremont Waters, Pat Bradley?
Oh, I love it. Look at this kid. If you haven't learned already, he will pull and take every big shot. He has the opportunity. He's got the guts to take.
3 seconds left. The Steph Curry shot.
I think
Get you some.
That's a heave.
Tremont Waters with the shot, boy.
Chef Curry with the pie. I saw what you did. 69-68. Number 11, Texas A&M goes down. All right, Mike White in Florida taking on Missouri. Questionable call here as Jalen Hudson is fouled.
Where's the foul?
I don't know, man. Come on, you get a little too close to that elbow. Just get your hand in his face. Don't go near his elbow.
Tie ball game. Gonzo Martin says, let's do it. No, Chris Chiozza with the steal and the layup. Take a look. He's got to steal and hustle just to get it underneath the clock. Roll it back one more time. Remix.
Championship play. Great anticipation. Sees the time on the clock and is able to get there. 0.1 seconds.
77-75. Florida literally steals a victory. Bruce Pearl and Auburn trying to move to 14-1 on the season, hosting Arkansas. And early going, it was all Tigers.
Yeah, Mustafa Heron playing outstanding basketball. One of the leaders on this team, that backcourt playing sensational basketball for the Tigers.
It was everybody. It was Mitchell. It was Heron. It was Brown. You just Harper.
Malik Dunbar.
Oh, they just gave it to the Hogs, man.
Got
The depth is real now.
You sound sad over there. You okay?
I'm all right, but this is an Auburn team that will play in the NCAA tournament. That is a high percentage shot right there. He did chin up with one hand on that.
Under 6 to play. Jalen Barford trying to get the Hogs back in. It hits a 3. 9-point game. Barford had 21 in this one. 3:30 to go. Down to a 7-point game. Barford can't hit it from the corner. Auburn wants to roll, and they do. Bryce Brown looking like a young Damian Fishback.
Ooh, I love his stroke. You know what? You put those numbers on the side of your name in this conference, and it makes it tough to win, especially on the road.
88-77. P.J. Washington, he's 5 of 7 from the floor. He's up 11. Big Blue Nation's got to like it. Wildcats up 8 at the half. More coming up after the break.
When people think Belk, they think we're always welcoming. Sweet and stylish. They say we enjoy the finer things in life, but still know how to have some fun. Well, it's all true.
All right, the final piece. A little to the left.
Our trip to SEC country was amazing.
Yeah, it was. So many great people, and man, can they tailgate.
It's official. SEC in the house.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Let's go make some sausage.
Hey, let's go.
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top.
Down Tennessee.
Home sweet home to me.
Rocky Top, Tennessee.
This is where the fun begins.
These culinary wannabes are stirring up chaos in the kitchen.
Is this an oven or a stove?
You're gonna burn yourself, dude.
I'm so sorry. Nobody tell my pet fish about this. Why are you on fire?
He's chopping onions.
The cutting board.
It's good, right?
Paul.
Kanan and Tyler make masters out of these kitchen disasters.
Put it down!
I've seen some doozies, but this takes the cake.
Season premiere, Worst Cooks in America, Sunday night at 9. Only on Food Network.
Shopping for your pets has never been easier. Introducing Chewy.com.
I'm a stay-at-home mom with 2 young boys, so I'm super busy with their schoolwork and sports. So shopping online at Chewy makes it easier. It's convenient and it's reliable.
We love the free shipping. Treats, toys, food, in 1 to 2 days are delivered right to our doorstep.
I recommended Chewy to my neighbors and my friends because the prices are great, and they love it.
Save 20% on your favorite brands and get fast free shipping. Shop online at Chewy.com.
Welcome back to SEC Now. Vince Dooley in the house. Georgia's hosted Alabama. Coach would have loved to have Yante Maton back in the day, gentlemen.
Oh, there's no question. He's extended his range. He's a legit three-point threat out there. Fish.
Pick and pop guy. Listen, he's a next level guy. My SEC player of the year, the question is, what will they think about him at the next level?
I don't care about the next level. I care about him on Saturdays right now, and he does it. Georgia wins 65-46. Could that happen on Monday? Not going to be that many points scored, but Georgia could beat Alabama. Ole Miss hosting Mississippi State. Egg Bowl on the hardwood. Q Weatherspoon. Take a look at this one.
Oh, don't do it to him. Oh, my God.
Did he just do that, Pat?
Yes. Do not send that back to that man's family.
That's
okay.
PG-13 right there.
Oh, that's chest to chest. I see you.
Bulldogs up 7. Breein Tyree, though, said it doesn't matter. I'm taking this over. He'd score 16 points all in the second half. 20 seconds left. Tyree looking to close it out. The crossover.
PB, 51 threes combined by both teams. What won the ball game? was layups.
Layups. We talking about layups.
That's
not
right.
a dunk, not a dunk. We're talking about layups. We're talking about Vandy, South Carolina, and we're talking about Chris Silva getting it done.
High percentage shots again. Coach Martin's figured out how to get Chris Silva great looks.
They're trying to get Jerry Baptiste back in this game, too.
The big fella's coming. They need somebody to replace Luke Cornett. They can't replace him, but somebody can help be a Band-Aid for his missing.
You don't need any Band-Aids for Chris Silva. Later, how about this? The pump fake's got him.
That's good. That's really
Tell
good.
me who's improved their offensive game like this guy has.
Deontay Maton's the only person I can think of over the last couple of years.
And Deontay's used to carrying that offensive load. Chris Silva now has stepped up in that role of giving South Carolina an offense where they just sometimes don't know where to go to get it.
South Carolina wins by 11. Admiral Schofield trying to keep the Vols involved. 4 of 6 from the field. He's got double digits, 10 points. But Tennessee down 8 to Kentucky at half.
Like to know how to easily join wood with rock-solid joints? You just need the right tool. With the Craig Joinery System, you create perfectly aligned pocket holes with hidden screws, just like the pros, with a drill and a Craig jig to build any wood project. Bookcases, storage systems, picture frames, and much more. Craig offers a 90-day money-back guarantee. Get your Craig jig at craigtool.com or at these and other fine retailers.
Hey, need fast heartburn relief? Try Cool Mint Zantac. It releases a cooling sensation in your mouth and throat. Zantac works in as little as 30 minutes. Nexium can take 24 hours. Try Cool Mint Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Just because you're cooking at home doesn't mean you can't travel the globe. Plated is the meal kit for people who love food. So you can explore the world without ever leaving your kitchen. Our diverse menus include 20 globally inspired chef-designed recipes and 2 delicious desserts every week. And our flexible plans fit every table and schedule. Get everything you need to make amazing dinners in one completely customized box. From pre-portioned, high-quality ingredients to easy-to-follow recipe cards. So you can create home-cooked meals that will impress your entire family. Let Plated be your passport to unforgettable dinners every week. Visit Plated.com now to get 50% off your first order.
Money is like life. You have to decide how to get the most from it. So we made you some simple, free tools to help you see how what you do today will affect your tomorrow. Which means you can make smart choices about how to spend your money and your life.
You might see it here. Here. Or here. You might see it pretty early on. You can definitely see it here. Oh, that's a good place too. It's something you have to see for yourself. And once you do, you'll see it anywhere you go.
Kentucky's taken 8 3-pointers at half. They've made 4 of this one from Quade Green after good ball movement. Is one of the reasons why Kentucky's up 8 at the half. Second half coming up after a quick break.
You give your all here and here. You're building a foundation that will lead to opportunities, that will open doors. Yet so many smart, talented student athletes leave college prepared to make money, but ill-prepared to manage it. That's why Regions Bank has provided more than 64,000 presentations in communities throughout the SEC to teach individuals good sense money management. Because understanding the value of a dollar is just as important as earning one.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance provided by Road America is now included with your auto policy. We'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
The best years of your life. That's how college is often described.
That flash of time when you set out and start to figure out who and where you were born to be. Trailblazer, risk taker, caretaker. The first time you feel a part of something bigger. And if you're lucky, those best years of your life, they last forever. Here, it just means more.
How we see, how we look. Great eyewear is all about both. Thoughtful design. Precision optics. Styles people love. At Zenni.com, we make it all stunningly affordable. So you can see the world the way it's meant to be seen. In perfect focus. Zenni.com. Eyewear for everyone.
Shopping for your pets has never been easier. Introducing Chewy.com.
I'm a stay-at-home mom with 2 young boys, so I'm super busy with their schoolwork and sports. So shopping online at Chewy makes it easier. It's convenient and it's reliable.
We love the free shipping. Treats, toys, food in 1 to 2 days are delivered right to our doorstep.
I recommended Chewy to my neighbors and my friends because the prices are great. And they love it.
Save 20% on your favorite brands and get fast free shipping. Shop online at Chewy.com.
In a matchup of top 25 opponents, Kentucky leads Tennessee 37-29. P.J. Washington, Sean, filling up the stat sheet. 11 points, 3 boards, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. Tom Hart alongside Sean Farnham. He's doing just about everything right tonight. In fact, let's take a look at tonight's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
I appreciate the compliment. Oh, wait, you were talking about P.J. Washington. All right, my bad. Yeah, let's take a look at the Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate. And watch his strength and ability to finish through contact. He secures the ball well. He protects, shields, goes up with the right, extends through, draws the foul. And then defensively, straight up, straight down. Look at the defense here. Wall up and force Grant Williams to be less aggressive. That was early. It kind of changed a little bit later as Grant Williams started to become a little bit more aggressive, but 0 for 4 shooting from the field for Grant Williams. His only points came at the free throw line. The numbers really on the side of Kentucky, in particular the 56% from the field goal percentage. Tom, that's because all of it's coming inside the paint.
Tennessee with points at the free throw line, 9 for 9. For more, let's throw it over to Chris Budden.
Yeah, I just spoke with Rick Barnes. He's happy with his team's energy. He said, obviously, we missed Jordan Bone not being able to play as much. He's had the flu the last couple days. He said, we have to do something with P.J. Washington, but what he's most upset about is the 9 points to Wyndon Gabriel. He said, that's unexplainable. We have to do better defensively.
Well, Gabriel hit 3 threes to get to those 9 points. You thought John Calipari was a little motivated going off after the half. Rick Barnes looked even more so.
Well, and the other guy that kind of got under the radar because we talked so much about P.J. Washington is Nick Richards. The last 3 games, he was just 2 for 7 from the floor and averaging 2 points per game. He goes 3 for 3 in the first half, 6 points and 4 rebounds.
One thing that John Calipari pointed out to his guys today during the shoot-around is Knox is challenged. Is it we've played well as a team without a lot of you as individuals playing well. So we know we can win. It's just a matter of playing loose and having fun. You mentioned Richards. Kevin Knox was in a 2-game slump. Hamidou Diallo, according to John Calipari, wasn't playing as well as he could have been. Diallo sat for a good chunk of the first half after picking up his second foul about a minute and a half in. He only played 6 minutes. Here's Diallo going baseline. Offensive foul, and that's the 3rd.
And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander quickly off the bench for John Calipari.
I read a really interesting article the other day in The Athletic, and it was about coaches sitting players with 2 fouls in the first half. It's John Calipari go-to rule in many ways. Mike Krzyzewski was interviewed about it, and he said, there should be no hard and fast rule. There isn't with me, but when I know that an opposing coach has that rule, we will go after their star player because I know he's going to sit once he picks up his second.
It's smart. You try to exploit everything that your opponent will give you.
Williams for 2.
It's his first made field goal of the game, Tom.
Kentucky settled for mid-range jumpers in the first half against LSU. Haven't had to do it tonight. Schofield out front. And the slam. Timeout, John Calipari. Calipari is all over Quade Green after that last turnover, and it turns into a run out for the Vols.
Only 2 points off of turnovers in the first half. Out and running here in the second, trying to get the crowd on their feet. The Vols hot at the start.
I did what you said, Doc. Changed everything.
You switched to the Capital One Quicksilver card. And how do you feel?
Like a burden's been lifted.
Those other cards made you sign up for bonus cash back. Then they changed categories on you every few months. Then you had to keep signing up. You deserve better. Now get out there and keep earning that 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
Thanks, Doc.
I'm not a doctor. What? Time to go. What's in your wallet?
You don't think it'll happen to you, and you surely don't think it'll happen twice. I've lost 2 homes in my lifetime. First, it was a fire. My agent was right there and helped me rebuild. Then the tornado hit and destroyed everything again. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
John Calipari greeted Quade Green in a not-too-friendly manner as they went to timeout. Why was Cal so upset with him?
Well, it's what he said to Chris going to the break. Desperation. Are you playing desperate? Watch the transition defense here. You have a turnover, and then who gets back? You're watching. Where's the hustle? Where's the sense of energy and the sense of, hey, I got to put this fire out defensively? It wasn't there for Kentucky.
In a lot of scenarios like this, John Calipari would take his point guard out of the game, but Quade Green will come out of the huddle and be on the floor for Kentucky, leading by 4. Monday, we'll start our coverage of the College Football National Championship game right here on the SEC Network. First, SEC Nation comes your way at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific. Then at 8:15, it's Feinbaum Film Room. Multicast the game, commentary from Paul, Booger, Tim, Marcus, and Greg. And we wrap it all up with SEC Now at midnight with a full breakdown of the game. They will crown an SEC champion. Sean, how about this? In the last calendar year, it's the 3rd national championship between 2 SEC teams. In the College World Series, it was LSU and Florida. In the Women's National Championship, it was Mississippi State and South Carolina.
You know what that makes me think of? It just means more.
Well, so you should hashtag that thing. Make some bumper stickers or something.
It's been a great year. And look, for the SEC on basketball, too, it's the rebirth of a national brand. Joe Lunardi coming into today's game sees 8 teams coming out of this conference and making it to the NCAA tournament.
Tennessee with a takeaway. John Calipari wondering where the whistle was. Here's Bone down the lane. Bone, got it. It's the first time Tennessee has hit 3 consecutive field goals tonight. They've closed it within 2. Washington guarded by Williams. Got him in the face, and one coming.
I don't understand why they just don't do this play every single time down the floor, Tom. Isolate them, put them on an island. They haven't stopped them yet. They're just so efficient, so strong. There's not many players that can bounce Grant Williams off of them like P.J. Washington did on that possession.
Let's turn it around the other way. Grant Williams only has 1 made field goal tonight. He has 4 points. He's their leading scorer and rebounder for Tennessee. How has the defensive end impacted Grant Williams on the offensive end?
Well, his frustration on not being able to do what he normally does. That's get rebounds, block shots, and be the strongest player out on the floor. So what that does, it taxes you mentally.
Oh.
P.J. Washington just got away a little bit with an extension of the arm in Grant Williams' face.
A little hand-to-hand combat between Washington and Williams. Possession arrow belongs to the Vols. Washington will take a seat and Gabriel returns. Alexander
And John Calipari immediately just starts pointing to the bench and yelling.
Another Tennessee takeaway.
That is twice, though, on out of bounds underneath, Tom, where they've just ran a guy to the rim and got him wide open.
Within the scope of the offense, did you like that look for Tennessee?
I didn't mind that shot at all. What I see out of Tennessee right now is they've picked up their intensity. They've picked up the fight. Kentucky went to the break with an 8-point lead. They're playing like a team that thought an 8-point lead was going to be good enough. It's just too easy. Look at where these entry passes are coming, Tom. That's 6 points on out of bounds underneath, and not one single shot has been further away than 2 feet.
Whoa, Grant Williams picks up the blocking foul, got into it with Wenyen Gabriel, and that's a big one. It's the third on Williams.
Tom executing in special situations. Watch this, little slip screen action. Alexander gets in the rim. Nick Richards on the high side. And then this is just a straight line cut. Wenyen Gabriel coasting a little bit, being comfortable. Cannot be comfortable at the defensive end of the floor, and instead, Williams able to finish.
Williams has a bloody mouth after that collision inside with Gabriel. And they're going to hold Rick Barnes back. Rick Barnes is a veteran coach, and he is very big on officials being aware of star players. Chad Newman is the athletic trainer for Tennessee.
And there's going to be a technical foul on Rick Barnes and a technical foul on John Calipari.
Now Joel Justice and Tony Barbee have to hold Cal back.
Here we go. And what we want to show you is the contact that has got Coach Rick Barnes so fired up. Straight elbow, straight up. Is that it?
Each head coach. The footage obviously ended early because Williams ended up on his back. And it was almost as if Williams got whistled for a flop in that scenario. Brian Shea was all over it and called it on Williams immediately. Did he catch the elbow there? He didn't go down there. Here's where he went down.
Okay, well, that's a flop. There's no doubt about that. The elbow came before the flop as he came through. An initial contact made. Wenyen Gabriel threw his hands straight up, and as he came up, that left elbow flipped him.
So should that be a foul on Gabriel?
Well, the question becomes, is this going to be a flagrant in this moment? We're going to find out because here comes the official.
Here's another look. This is in transition. Gabriel coming down the lane on Grant Williams. Initial contact, and then it continued.
And they're saying common foul. I don't disagree with that. Common foul, Tom.
Yeah, so no flagrant.
It just keeps them playing on, and then we've got the double technical.
John Calipari is stomping mad. He thinks he was given a technical for leaving the coach's box, and he is showing Brian Shea exactly where his feet were inside the hash line, which shouldn't have been a violation. That, Sean, is not reviewable.
Well, now that they've made the decision, though, let's get going. Let's get the game back playing. There's a lot of energy in this building. The officials probably wanting to calm it down just a little bit. They're still talking to Rick Barnes. I think you got to let both coaches go. You got Coach Cal. He's upset about getting the technical. Rick Barnes feels as if he's standing up for his player. As officials walk away, let's get this game back going and keep control of this thing. Everybody in the building on their feet.
First technical this season Rick Barnes, it's his second technical on the Kentucky bench this year. It is a rarity for Rick Barnes to pick up a technical. After all that, we're tied at 39. But Williams is on the bench. Knox down the jumper. Kentucky back in front.
And Tom, they worked on that in a breakdown of their bigs earlier today. And one of the things Kenny Payne told Kevin Knox is, you've got to work to get open. That time he utilized his upper body strength, created a little bit of a gap, able to get that wide open shot.
Lamonte Turner, Tennessee back in front.
And just as good as the offense was, it was the defensive lunge and reach by Knox. It got him out of position. You had to help off, and it gave up the three.
Bonnie Green with the ball fake into the paint. Point blank range for Sasha Kilea-Jones. Alexander Kilea-Jones went down. Five ties, 4 lead changes. Deep three. Foul on Tennessee. Alexander's second.
Tom, I take you back to the previous possession. Watch. Kevin Knox lunge and reaches. Quade Green gets caught in no man's land, trying to pinch over to where the ball was. Gives up the wide open three, but he makes up for it on the offensive end. A beautiful dump down pass, keeping his balance, not charging into Admiral Schofield, and finding Sasha Kilea-Jones.
Denied inside. Schofield, 3-on-1 Tennessee. Alexander. And we're going to foul on Gabriel before he got it up. Almost like a hard-fought football game out there. And when we return, we'll talk with the national championship head coach, the new AD here at Tennessee. What does Philip Fulmer think about this atmosphere?
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
The Ables got a super low intro rate when they opened a Regions Home Equity line of credit, and the signs are everywhere. In the updated kitchen, and the refreshed bathroom too. Regions 0.99% introductory rate for 6 months can help you consolidate debt, pay for higher education, or renovate your home. We're here to assist you with quick decisions and helpful advice. As for the Ables, they're still going with no signs of stopping. Ready to take your next step? Call 1-888-IN-A-SNAP for credit costs and terms.
Physical team. Big boy Deron Payne with the ball. How about it? Sonny Michel will send the Dogs home to the championship game. Georgia and Alabama for the College Football Playoff National Championship.
Welcome back to Thompson-Boling Arena. Kentucky leads at 43-42, and I am joined with Athletic Director Philip Fulmer. Coach, you've watched many of these games as a fan. What's the difference in the emotions watching it as an athletic director now?
Well, it's even more intriguing as an athletic director. What a great scene here tonight. We're playing super. 2 good teams going after each other. I've told my daughter, I've watched these Kentucky-Tennessee games since I was in college in '68, so a lot of fun.
You hired Jeremy Pruitt. How's the transition been with him coaching in the national championship game and still doing all the recruiting?
Yeah, it's a plus and a minus. You know, him being there, obviously he's established himself as one of the best defensive coaches in the country. Now he's got this opportunity, and I admire the fact that he wanted to finish for his kids. He recruited those guys there, and you know, I wish he was here, darn it, you know, but it's a good thing that he's there.
Well, now I'm going to put you on the spot. Does that mean you're going to root for Alabama on Monday?
you know, I'm rooting for Jeremy in the defense. We're kind of stuck there. It's Georgia or Alabama. Georgia's in our division, so I don't know, you know. Maybe they'll tie.
Well, I appreciate the time. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to see you.
All right, thanks. Yeah, maybe they will tie. Now, that would be noteworthy. Here's Kyle Alexander at the free throw line. And he's able to tie it up. Tennessee looking for the lead. Sean, what's the difference with Kentucky's offense here in the second half tonight?
It's 5 second-half turnovers in the first 4 minutes of this game in the second half. They got to value the basketball. It's allowed them to get some runouts and find some easy points in the paint.
Alexander goes 1 for 2. Kentucky won a close one on the road at LSU Tuesday night, 74-71. They hit the free throws late. It's the first time Tennessee has missed from the stripe tonight. Gilgeous-Alexander lobs to Gabriel. Well, he covered a lot of ground in just one big step, and he'll go to the free throw line to try to finish it.
Those turnovers that we're talking about, by the way, Tom, have led to 10 points in the paint in the second half for Tennessee. So what does Kentucky do? They answer it. Wenyen Gabriel moving without the ball. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander able to find him. Wenyen Gabriel is an energy guy as well. I mean, we talked a lot about P.J. Washington in the first half. You mentioned the 3 3-pointers in particular that Gabriel had, but when he plays with a high sense of purpose, a high sense of energy, his experience in buildings like this, and you mentioned the only player to play in this building, it should benefit his teammates. They should play off of him in these moments. Doesn't mean you're playing through him to score, but play off of his energy, feel him.
Turner, play clock winding down. It's at 5, and it's off of Alexander's shins and out of bounds. We'll take it to the O-Dome Wednesday night at 7 with Florida coming off of a huge win on the road today in Como, thanks to the heroics of Chris Chiozza with a score off of a steal at the buzzer. We're taking on Mississippi State, 7 o'clock Eastern, right here on the SEC Network, and streaming live, as always, on the ESPN app.
The Gators now 3-0 in conference play. You mentioned Chiozza, 13.6 assists tonight.
Gabriel puts up an air ball. He thought it was tipped. Officials didn't. What a turnaround for Mike White in Florida. Team that lost at home to Loyola of Chicago.
They were from the PK80, where everybody thought they were Final Four bound, to then losing that series of games in a row, and then everybody jumping off the train saying, uh-oh, the wheels have fallen off. They just relied too much on their three-point shooting, to now grinding a way to find a win tonight against Missouri. And a 3-0 start to start conference play, including a win at Texas A&M.
So that's the third now on Wenyen Gabriel. Foul trouble starting to pile up for both sides, including Grant Williams of Tennessee, who's been on the bench since the 17-minute mark when he picked up his third. Nice cut. Gabriel erases it. Alexander fouled on his way back to the rim. If that's Gabriel, it's his 4th.
And it is.
So the energy that Wenyen Gabriel brings will have to wait.
How impressed have you been, though, Tom, with Tennessee's execution on out-of-bounds underneath? A little bit of a delayed cut that time, but they were still able to get to the cup.
It's been their best offense tonight, that and the free throw line. The wrong guy for a moment. Gabriel will take a seat. John Fulkerson at the free throw line. Another one coming his way. Got off to a fantastic start last year for Tennessee. Remember that game against Oregon and Maui? Had double-double with 5 blocks, 2 steals, a couple assists. Then he was injured right before Christmas and missed the rest of the year. Williams returns here, playing with 3. How would you coach Grant Williams to play right now in this big game with 3 personal fouls?
I think you've got to trust his experience will pay off for him, and you just got to play hard. Now, I would not go for as many block shots as he normally does. I'd play position defense.
Tried to block the 3. It's off the mark, but Richards is all alone. And a great recovery by Nick Richards. Push ahead. Kentucky down, get back, but Tennessee can't take advantage. John Calipari just yells at his team, run. Meanwhile, Lamonte Turner with his second triple, and we're tied at 47.
That actually worked out well. Alexander may have traveled as he gathered himself underneath the rim, but on the kick out, the defense started ball watching, and they did not have an awareness of where Turner was.
Looking for Knox.
You see who's guarding P.J. Washington? Grant Williams. I'd get him the ball and try to pick up the fourth on Williams.
Gilgeous-Alexander. And Richards with the hard foul.
You understand what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Tommy?
don't you go to whoever Grant Williams is guarding,
Yeah,
whether
you
it's
just try to take him out of the
Knox
game.
or P.J.?
No question. And when he's on P.J. Washington, who had that great first half, he's had a very quiet second half. Feed him, get him re-engaged into the game. A point guard, you got to realize that.
Schofield off the curl. And he tracks it down. Fantastic effort. Long three, long rebound, and a second chance for Tennessee.
And Schofield just told the bench he needs a break.
They show a double. He finds Williams. Shot clock at 6. It goes for Williams, and Tennessee's back in front. P.J. Washington went down on that rebound, and he is laying down on the baseline. Chris Simmons is the head athletic trainer for Kentucky, and he will make his way to P.J. Washington. Washington leading Kentucky in scoring with 13 tonight.
You watch the drive as he goes up. Can't see anything as far as how he came down, how he landed. But as the left leg, that he immediately straightened, and you hope it's just a cramp. But he's going directly past go. He's going back into the tunnel. Now remember, their locker room's on the completely other side of the building here.
Right.
So it's not like he's going through the curtain to go back to the locker room.
By the way, in other injury news for Kentucky, Jared Vanderbilt took part in the entire shoot-around today for Kentucky. Here's a steal in the backcourt. Green has it. Diallo will take it himself. Home crowd thought they saw a walk. They did see a foul by Kalea Jones, and that's his third. Excuse me, it's on Diallo. And that's his fourth. So Diallo will take a seat. Meanwhile, Wenyen Gabriel has 4, and he returns for Kentucky. What a gamble for John Calipari.
What Coach Cal's telling his team right now is they've got to talk defensively, and they're not. They're going back to being quiet. When you go quiet, you go on your own island. That doesn't work.
Good ball movement. Turner. And a foul inside on Kentucky. Wenyen Gabriel fouls out with 11:58 to go. John Calipari rolled the dice, forced to go with Gabriel after P.J. Washington left due to injury, and Gabriel's done for the night.
They ready today.
They're ready.
They ready today.
These fans always show up so lit.
They've got enough
food for everybody before kickoff. No holds barred.
That tape was fire, baby. Breaking clear. 30. Get your knees up.
Holy smokes.
How can I help you today?
Yeah, I need to file a claim. My central air stopped working and needs to be replaced.
Oh, sorry, your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover air conditioners.
So what do you cover?
Well, home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
Zombie apocalypse.
Covered.
But not my air conditioner.
But his air conditioner would have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield. We cover major components of air conditioners and 20 other home systems and appliances, from electrical systems to water heaters and more. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But award-winning American Home Shield helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Get an American Home Shield home warranty. For valuable free information, call 1-800-558-9468. Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield.
Briscoe lost it in the paint. Hunter, three. Got it! At one point in time, Kentucky was up 21. Tennessee, the upset, 84-77. They feed it low. The Admiral responds. Good ball movement. Bingo! Tennessee upsets Kentucky.
The drama continues here on Rocky Top. No team has beaten Kentucky 3 consecutive seasons on their home floor in the John Calipari era, but Tennessee has won each of the last 2. These rivals celebrated by just 177 miles, meeting for the 123rd time tonight.
Well, and Tom, they went back to the monitor to make sure that they had the correct shooter going to the free throw line, and now what I've been told is they have assessed a double technical again. This is the second time in this game that we've had 2 technicals assessed. This one goes to number 1 on both teams, Sasha Kalea-Jones, as well as Turner for the Vols.
So Lamonte Turner, that'll count as his first personal foul, and that'll be the 3rd on Kalea-Jones.
It was extracurriculars going to the timeout.
Earlier in this game, both coaches were assessed technical fouls. They said John Calipari left the coaching box, even though he argues that he didn't.
And Kentucky has failed to score now for over the last 2 minutes of this game. When's the last time you did a game where you had 2 double technicals given up?
I can't remember it. See if we can find the look. Number 1 versus number 1 coming off after the timeout. And trading shoulders right there. And then a look back. Hey, let me ask you this. The officials are doing as good a job as they can to try to keep the emotions out of this one, trying to keep it competitive but calm. Does that necessitate double technicals?
I think that necessitates bringing the 2 together and saying, hey, look, this is your warning.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any more of that. Any slight indication that this is going to carry over when you come back out on the floor, we're going to tee you up right away.
Grant Williams hits both free throws. Tennessee has its largest lead of the night, up 4. And now some pressure. Gilgeous-Alexander threads the needle. And the miss not followed. Tennessee brings it down. Chris Button, what's the latest with P.J. Washington?
He's back on the bench now. He was dealing with cramps in his left leg. They stretched him out, but he was in a lot of pain, his hands over his face, screaming.
Nice ball fake by Turner. Shares it to Daniel. Hits the three. And Tennessee adds to the lead. First field goal attempt from Daniel is a big one. Kevin Knox. You've been here for the last two Kentucky-Tennessee games. You seeing any similarities tonight?
Well, what I'm seeing here is in the second half, the Vols have been much more aggressive. They've done a great job all night long after struggling against Auburn to shore up their defensive glass. You see 5 white jerseys every time a shot goes up, getting back inside the paint. Offensively, they're cutting with purpose. They're moving the ball better in the second half as well.
Offensive rebound. And Kalea Jones yanks it down. Kentucky's gone cold. They've missed 5 in a row for the first time tonight. Quade Green will end that. Lob. Alexander blocked from behind, but they'll get Knox for the foul.
Now, Tom, how many times, though, do you see great ball movement, great unselfishness, and then it leads to a high percentage shot? You could have had a shot here. No, you turn it down. You drive middle. Could have had a shot here. Kick it back out. Another opportunity for a shot. Swing it one more time, and that's the one you finally get. And at the opposite end of the floor, Quade Green in transition, forcing Grant Williams on the long run out from the paint, and Kentucky finds an answer.
Five-point lead for Tennessee. Schofield returns. Grant Williams will catch a breather, and they're able to do that. Sit Williams for a little bit with 3 fouls thanks to the lead.
Kyle Alexander has been so efficient at the offensive end of the floor over the last couple of games, but this may be his best performance.
Fulkerson kept it alive with a punch. And Alexander throws it away. We say hello to James Daniel.
If you're going to have a turnover in that moment for Tennessee, a dead ball turnover isn't that bad, Tom.
No.
It allows you to get back in your defense and try to set it up.
You see Washington trying to hydrate. Left with painful cramps a few moments ago. Gilgeous-Alexander once again got in the paint but couldn't finish.
And these are not the two that you want leading the break.
No, the two bigs playing hot potato.
Alexander's like, I'm not comfortable here. Passes it off. Fulkerson's going, this isn't my game. You look at the ball movement right now. See, look at him relocating out on the wing. They had a chance to find Turner in the corner.
Schofield tees one up. 8-point Tennessee lead. Kevin Knox for 3. And we got a push off underneath.
They're going to get Alexander for that one on the box out.
Richards went down hard. Fourth personal foul on Alexander. Foul trouble continues to mount for both sides.
Watch as the ball comes off here. That left arm extending out, drawing contact. I think that's just a common foul that you should play on from.
They're going to take a look at it, see if it's flagrant.
To me, there's not a whole lot of difference between that one and Wenyen Gabriel early in the game when he came down the middle. And remember, he just brought his arm straight up, and his left elbow clipped Grant Williams and drew blood.
Alexander has 4, Williams has 3. That's a foul trouble for Tennessee. Meanwhile, on the other side, Wenyen Gabriel is already fouled out for Kentucky. That happened with 11:58 to go. So you got Gabriel fouled out, And P.J. Washington limited due to the cramps. He suffered in his right leg, excuse me. And that severely limits available players for Kentucky in the post. Jallo's got 4. Knox and Kalea Jones each have 3. And Washington's going to walk off once again back into the tunnel and try and stretch it out a little bit, you'd assume.
Yeah, I'd assume he's just trying to get himself with the ability to get back out onto the floor. And they're going to need him down the stretch of this game. You cannot go 8:47. This is a short-handed team right now when you think about Kentucky. When you're not available tonight, Gabriel's now fouled out of the game.
Wynyard did not participate in the shoot-around today. Once again, facing some issues with his back. Quade Green. And Kentucky having a hard time knocking him down from deep. They're just 1 for 6 from behind the three-point line here in the second half.
And if I'm Rick Barnes in that last timeout, what I'm telling my team is move the ball, get it inside out, force a ball reversal at least twice, and we're going to find a wide-open shot.
Going to work inside is Grant Williams.
And Grant Williams struggled against P.J. Washington. Look where he caught the ball, Tom. He had both feet in the paint and was able to turn and create that angle and that seam, able to finish.
Well, it looked like Kalea Jones was straight up on that replay. It's his 4th.
I would have gone no call on that and just counter the basket and go to the other end of the floor.
Diallo with the board. Kentucky down 10. Green in a hurry, and he reverses it in.
I don't know who Daniels was pointing to. He kept pointing down like somebody else was going to stop the ball. You're the guard. Stop the guy with the ball. The most important person on the floor at all times is the one with the ball in his hands.
Does it seem like Kentucky's playing with some desperation now?
On that possession for Quade Green, without question.
Schofield with 12 on the shot clock. And a hand in his face. Green spins and draws the foul.
Last 2 possessions. Quade Green has said, you know what? If nobody else is going to score underneath, I'm going to take the fight and I'm going to take it to Tennessee. Back-to-back possessions, number 0, making something happen.
When people think Belk, they think we're always welcoming. Sweet and stylish. They say we enjoy the finer things in life, but still know how to have some fun. Well, it's all true.
You give your all here and here. You're building a foundation that will lead to opportunities, that will open doors. Yet so many smart, talented student athletes leave college prepared to make money, but ill-prepared to manage it. That's why Regions Bank has provided more than 64,000 presentations in communities throughout the SEC to teach individuals good sense money management. Because understanding the value of a dollar is just as important as earning one.
I'm not cut out for an office job, so I prefer working in public cafes and in co-working places. Sharing same Wi-Fi spots can lead to some really serious invasions. VPN gives me peace of mind when I use unsecured public networks.
NordVPN secures your internet traffic with strong encryption and offers easy access to hundreds of servers. Get NordVPN for only $4 a month. Visit nordvpn.com/TV now.
A big one in Gainesville Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern. Mississippi State goes on the road to take on a Florida team which is undefeated in conference play right here on the SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Meanwhile, a tale of 2 halves for Tennessee's Grant Williams. He struggled in the first half. His coach challenged him, said he was playing scared. Not playing so scared here in the second half.
No, much more aggressive here in the second half. You see Coach Barnes getting into him in the second half. 4 of 5 shooting from the floor. He's now got 12 points, 6 rebounds, a team high 4 assists to go along with a block and a steal. The bigger issue has been this, Tom. In the first half, 13 points off of turnovers for Kentucky. They have 0 points off of turnovers in the second half. Meanwhile, Tennessee had only 2 points in the first half. They've got 12 points off of turnovers here in the second half. Valuing the basketball. When you go on the road, regardless of what your lead is, if you want to turn the ball over, you're giving life to your opponent. And that's what Kentucky did in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Quade Green, freshman out of Newman Goretti in Philadelphia at the free throw line. Second in school history in scoring in that great basketball powerhouse.
This young man studies the game so well. He looks at Chris Paul influences in his game. He loves Mike Conley's floaters and how quick he gets to his spot. Last 2 times down the floor, Quade Green beat the Vols to his spot. Able to score the first basket and get the free throws on the second.
Kentucky will settle back into their zone.
In Tennessee, you want to get the ball inside the three-point line. There it is. Now you play.
Whoa! The feed to a slam for Grant Williams. Tennessee by 9. In the first half with P.J. Washington patrolling the paint, that play didn't finish. Washington still out with cramps. Shot clock winding down. Skip to the corner. They got to shoot it. No recognition. Turnover, Kentucky.
Well, you look at the ball over the top. Nick Richards should have been able to fish that one and realize it, but that last possession, like I said, they need to get the ball in the paint, and when you do that, forces the back line of the defense to have to step. Watch Nick Richards step up. As soon as he steps up, he's vacated the spot. You're too late if you're Kevin Knox.
14 turnovers tonight for Kentucky. Chris Simmons still hard at work on P.J. Washington.
Right back to the play and get the ball to the high post again. This time look opposite for a kick out 3. The defense is going to stay underneath.
Turner back to Daniel. A very deliberate possession for Tennessee. And the finishes with a lob. What a look.
If you play defense, though, when your hands are down, you are defeated. 2 Kentucky Wildcats there. Both hands are down. Williams goes up there, too late reacting.
Long 2. And Fulkerson fouls Kalea Jones on the putback.
And Tom, watch this. Look at the back line of the defense. Where's Kevin Knox's hands? Where's Sasha Kalea Jones's hands? They're both down by their waist. Neither one has contact. Grant Williams throws his hands up. Neither one of them have vision of where he's at, or even that he even elevated his arm up in the air. Those are the things that Coach Cal talks about. A single possession in a game. Are you desperate for every possession? Do you want to fight for every possession? If you don't, good teams are going to exploit you. And Tennessee is a good basketball team. The start of conference play has not gone their way. They lose a heartbreaker at Arkansas. They get thumped by Auburn on this floor. But they have responded here in the second half.
In all 4 losses, Tennessee led by at least 9 points. They led North Carolina for 37 minutes and lost on the road. They led Arkansas for 38 minutes. They're up 9 with 4 to go in that one and let it slip away. So the challenge for Tennessee will be to figure out if they can close the game out. Turner. Nope. Schofield has it taken away. And then he fouls Knox on his way down. 3rd on Admiral Schofield.
And that's one. You love the aggressiveness, but you've got to let it go if you're Admiral Schofield. You've got to be smarter in that situation and realize you're just allowing Kentucky to walk down the floor, stopping the clock, giving them an opportunity to cut into the lead. Pick and choose your moments of when you want to foul. That's not one you want to take.
So Kevin Knox at the free throw line. 71% of the season. Hasn't made a shot from the floor tonight. Finally from 3. He's 0 for 4 and 1 for 8 overall, but now 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
Coach Cal just walked down and checked one more time on P.J. Washington, who's back out on the bench, continuing to get treatment on the sideline.
He doesn't look like a guy who's going to return to this game, does he?
No.
Remember, this is a Kentucky team that, as a squad, like a lot of teams at this time of year, had been dealing with the flu that ran through the team before the LSU game, and that will dehydrate you quickly. A little bit of pressure. Daniel solves it for a moment.
Good idea to turn that shot down.
Fulkerson to the rack. Got it.
Such a delayed move. Everybody in the building basically said, shoot it, and finally he looked at the rim.
Green penetrates, left it short.
Well, for Kentucky, you've got to string together about 4 or 5 stops in a row. You've allowed Tennessee in the second half to shoot above 58% from the field.
Fulkerson dumps it low for Grant Williams.
Too easy.
Timeout, Kentucky. After the trap, the lead is 11, but Tennessee has had a hard time this season holding on to leads in big games. They've blown big leads in both SEC losses. Can they hold on over the last 4-17 against Big Blue?
Hey, need fast heartburn relief? Try Cool Mint Zantac. It releases a cooling sensation in your mouth and throat. Zantac works in as little as 30 minutes. Nexium can take 24 hours. Try Cool Mint Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Money is like life. You have to decide how to get the most from it. So we made you some simple, free tools to help you see how what you do today will affect your tomorrow. Which means you can make smart choices about how to spend your money and your life.
A good enough dinner.
Hey, should I heat up some nuggets for us?
Isn't good or enough.
No, it's a plated night.
Yes.
So let's plan for great. We'll start with Plated.com. Plated delivers everything you need to cook great dinners at home. Whether you're a food-loving family or an adventurous duo, all the shopping and measuring is done for you. So all you do is follow the simple step-by-step recipes. Each week, you get to choose from fresh takes on classic dishes to culinary creations you never dreamed you could make, including dessert. So gather around the table and enjoy seasonally inspired dinners. It's fun. It's easy. Otherwise, it wouldn't be great. Go to Plated.com right now to take advantage of our lowest prices ever. You'll get 50% off your first week of Plated Nights. That's up to a $79 value. This offer won't last, so go to Plated.com now and make every night a Plated night. Go to Plated.com.
Time now to take a look at our defensive spotlight, brought to you by Shelter Insurance.
You got to make plays, and you got to play good defense. And the way that Tennessee has been swarming in the second half, collapsing the ball, jumping and clogging up lanes, forcing the Wildcats, who have struggled from out over the top. Just 1 for 6 here in the second half. They're shooting just 37% thus far. Meanwhile, Tennessee shooting 60% from the floor, Tom. When Coach Cal called that timeout, he didn't call it just to talk about offense. I promise you that he spent most of that timeout talking about the need to get a stop, the need to want to fight and compete at the defensive end of the floor because things have been so easy. How easy? Tom, this is a crazy number when you think of it. Tennessee has 23 made field goals. They've assisted on 22 of the 23 made field goals. That is a cohesiveness and a togetherness at a historic rate.
Much better ball movement against the zone in the second half after those turnovers against the zone in the first half. John Calipari said at the break that his team wasn't playing with desperation, at least some specific players weren't. Desperate times call for desperate measures with 4 to go, and Knox turns it over. Daniel will pull it out. By the way, loud ovation moments ago. They just showed Philip Fulmer, national championship winning coach, and the new AD on the Jumbotron here. Tennessee will bleed the clock and they get a bucket out of it. They slack off Turner. And Williams with an offensive rebound. He'll dribble out of trouble and Tennessee can run another 30 seconds off. Shot clock at 5. Lamonte Turner working on Gilgeous-Alexander. Fires. And the rebound taken to the floor by Richards. And a foul on the rebound. That'll be on Grant Williams and his 4th. And that's a huge call.
Here's what Tennessee did wrong on that possession. They played like they were just trying to waste time.
Yes.
They did not play with a sense of purpose that we've seen for a majority of the second half. The last thing you want to do if you're Tennessee right now is start playing passively and allowing yourself to get out of that rhythm that has allowed your offense to flow and slice and cut up this Kentucky defense.
Last 5 Kentucky points have come from the free throw line. Quade Green with his second. Monday, our coverage of the College Football National Championship game and all SEC affair begins right here on the SEC Network, starting with SEC Nation, 6 o'clock Eastern. 3 for you folks out on the West Coast.
Thank you.
Then at 8:15, it's Feinbaum Film Room, multicast of the game, commentary from Paul, Booger, Tim, Marcus, and Greg, and we wrap it all up with SEC Now at the stroke of midnight with a full breakdown of the game. You can watch it all on the ESPN app as well.
They called a violation on Admiral Schofield as he stepped out of the free throw line box towards Coach Barnes. So instead of 2 shots, there's only going to be 1 shot here for Turner.
So you negate what would have been the first attempt with Tennessee in the bonus. You never know what could cost you. Three-ball Diallo. Yes, sir, that was pure. First triple of the night for Hamidou Diallo. It's an 8-point game. Kentucky went 5.5 minutes without a field goal.
Now see, slow it up, that's fine, but you still got to run your offense. Screen away from the ball. You're under 10. Where's the passing and cutting we've been seeing this entire second half? You're down to 5.
Williams with 2. A board, and they'll count it for Admiral Schofield on the offensive glass. Fourth on Knox.
Good defense by Hamidou Diallo, and then Kevin Knox stepped underneath him a little bit. Both arms were straight up, Tom, but I think he leaned in a little bit with that hip, making the contact.
You didn't say that very confidently.
I'm not very confident about it. I'm just saying he might have leaned in with the hip.
Yeah, well, might have been a different game with a healthy P.J. Washington. Cramps have kept him on the bench for a good chunk of this second half. 2:03 to go, and I guess we should come to expect the unexpected. Not that Tennessee was an underdog on Rocky Top tonight, but the way things are playing out in the SEC this year, where everybody is beating up on everybody, this is just another one of those. Tom Arnold alongside Sean Farnham. By the way, Titans jerseys in the crowd. Big upset win for Marcus Mariota and the Titans tonight. All right, so what can Kentucky do with 2:03 to go?
There's still plenty of time. What they've got to do, though, is not play hero basketball, and you've seen that a couple times coming out of timeout. And what does that mean? Kevin Knox one time got the ball out of a timeout, drove right into the teeth of the defense, and turned it over. Don't try to do too much. Have a little bit better faith in your offense. Move the ball. Force Tennessee to have to shift side to side. You've got to do it with purpose. I'd look to elevate, set some on-ball screens, and get Quade Green or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going towards the basket and see if you can pick them apart on the back line a little bit.
A couple of heartbreaking losses for Tennessee as they coughed up leads late in conference play. They're trying to avoid falling to 0-3 in the league.
The zone defense by Tennessee.
Quade Green too strong. Second half threes, Kentucky 2 for 8. Turner left all alone, and he misses the bunny.
Well, he should have gone up with that one immediately, anticipating the length of Gilgeous-Alexander coming from behind. It wasn't.
Knox can't buy one from deep, and then a loose ball foul on Daniel. That's his second.
And once again, the official jumping between. Turner already, by the way, has a technical foul. There's no need for him to be talking at all right now. But for Kentucky, this is great. Stop the clock. Knock down both free throws. You can extend out your pressure.
Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the top free throw shooters in the SEC, coming in at 88%. Kalea Jones back on the floor.
You can't understate the fact, though, that P.J. Washington has been on the bench for a very long time here in the second half.
Diallo is done. He is the second Kentucky Wildcat to foul out of this game. P.J. Washington had 11 points in the first half. He was only out there long enough to find one bucket in the second half. Here's Lamonte Turner at the free throw line.
He was outstanding at the free throw line. Last time out, 13 of 13 at the free throw line. Rims that one out.
Quade Green with the floater. It's off the mark. And a rebound inside for the Vols. And then we got a jump ball. We'll keep it this direction.
A great job by Quade Green. They'll tie it up and get the possession back.
Tennessee was up 2 and P.J. Washington left this game with cramps with 12:35 to go as Green rattles home a triple. So it's down to 8. Green only has 2 fouls. Didn't get the whistle there, trying for a reach. Kentucky's got to stop the clock. Green's got a foul here. And he does with the reach in.
Well, Tom, they let a good 10 seconds go off the clock that they didn't need to have happen. You look at the game right now and you think about the performances that we've seen from some Tennessee Volunteers in recent years in those games. Kevin Punter comes to mind. Robert Hubbs, his performance last year, along with Grant Williams. And tonight is really team unselfishness. Williams and Schofield, the guys that they're going to rely on for majority of this season, played so well here in the second half. And the unselfishness of this team from top to bottom. 4 players with 4 or more assists in the game.
Quade Green challenged by Fulkerson. Here's a run out and the exclamation point coming. Kentucky's turned it over 15 times tonight. This started with defense. Cal wanted to go to Quade Green to get a look at a 3.
A good job by Fulkerson blocking the shot. And that says enough.
21 seconds to go in this one. And moments ago, John Calipari just walked to the midcourt line and gave Rick Barnes a handshake and a hug. Elementary now. And Tennessee will have a 3-game home win streak against Kentucky for the first time since they won 7 in a row from 79 to 85.
It is the first team to beat Coach Cal 3 straight times on their home floor since he took over the Kentucky Wildcats program.
Tennessee owns the second half. They outscored Kentucky by 15 after the intermission.
And Tom, I go back to the number I brought up late in the second half. How do you beat Kentucky? You play your game, you believe in your system. 23 assists on 25 made field goals for Tennessee tonight.
The SEC is a boxing match. All season long, they continue to beat up on each other, and the Volunteers land the knockout blow in this one. 74-67 our final. First conference win for Tennessee, first conference loss for Kentucky.